the women's team chairman for a return to the top of the tree for them, but again, agony on the last day of the season. How do you reflect on what they did this season?
Losing the league on goal difference on the last day of the season, it is a very painful thing, because to get to that point where you effectively had the most points in the league, but tied with another team, and to lose on goal difference the championship is truly a cruel, brutal way to lose. Now, again, the flip side of it shows you we have a wonderful team that went all the way and was just maybe an inch away from winning the league. We have a great coach, a wonderful squad of players, very talented. So I think, again, great season. Nothing to take away from this group. They've done a phenomenal season, and a cruel end, but a lot to be happy with, a lot to be proud of, and certainly sets us up nicely for next year.
I'm going to mention, like I did with the men, a couple of players, I hope you don't mind, but Bunny Shaw, the Erling Haaland of the women's team, there are parallels there. A phenomenal goal scorer and a great season for her.
The number of goals she scored, the contributions she has in both goals and assists, how she's become an integral part of the team and one of the best players of the league, I think it was great for the women's game. It's great for our women's team and our club, and we're delighted to have her.
How do you think that the women's game is progressing generally, and what are the next steps for City in that sphere?
If you sit with my daughter right now and you ask her, who's your favorite player? She'll answer you, female or male. Great. But more importantly, if you ask my son the same question, he'll answer you in the same way, male or female. I think that shows you how this game has changed. Not 10 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. 3 years ago, if I had asked both of them, they would have answered you automatically naming a male player without even the follow-on question. I think that, for me, tells me everything about how this game is evolving.
And there's a good buy from the women's team. I think we can't go any further without mentioning Steph Houghton, who was there the day the team turned fully professional again 10 years ago, and has had a wonderful career, England captain, 100 and odd caps.
Steph has been a tremendous leader for our club, for the team. She's one of the most decorated players in England. I think, nothing but great appreciation that we have towards Steph and her contributions to the club. Thank you, Steph, for everything you've done for us, and delighted that you will always be part of this club. You're a legend and a leader, and as this women's team and women's football continues to evolve, I think your role in it will never be forgotten, and we would like, of course, as always, to keep you, and she will be continuously part of the group. There's going to be a special mosaic for Steph in our new women's team training facility. That will be, again, unveiled soon. I'm very excited for Steph and, of course, for our women's team to have their new facilities.
I'm sure everyone will be delighted to hear that she's going to be honoured in that way. And part of that campus is the youth setup. So a two-part question, really. How important is it for the ecosystem of City for everyone to still be in the same place at the sea? Crucial.
I look back, that decision many years ago to have one campus with everybody there, men's team, women's team, academy, youth, everybody in one place, I think was unquestionably one of the best decisions we took. I think it creates what you have today, which is an ecosystem, an environment that is conducive for success and excellence. And I think the results are clear to see in every aspect of football at the CFA.
So that leads me perfectly onto the FA Youth Cup. So the most visible of all trophies at that age group, if not a league, but a knockout. How pleased were you?
Very pleased to win 4-0 at the final. 20,000 people attended that game. So we had 20,000 fans attend. I mean, that tells you everything. So another, I would say, very important trophy for us to have at the club. It shows our commitment, shows the talent we have, and we continue to develop at the club. I mean, you look at our record over the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, it's pretty consistent in every age group. And that shows you we have, I think, a very, very strong system of talent development that continues to outperform in England and in Europe.
And we may see some of them, of course, in the USA this summer, pre-season tour. So how, again, a two-part question, how excited are you to be going back to the United States, and how excited will you be to see these youngsters given their chance, which Pep normally does on a pre-season tour?
Very excited because we're the most watched football team in the United States. I mean, this is incredible. Today, you look at Manchester City competing with every other football team in the world. Today is the most watched team in the United States. That says it all. I think if you look at the top 10 football games watched this season in the United States, 6 of them had Manchester City.
We could just move on to CFG now. There's only really one place we can start in terms of CFG, and that's Girona. What an achievement for them. 5 years ago, down the leagues, now about to play Champions League football.
When you talk about a system and how the system works, and to many of the points we discussed earlier, I think Girona kind of personifies this group and how a club can be well managed to the point to substantially outperform. They have the 16th highest wage bill in La Liga, 16th out of 20. And they went head to head with Real Madrid and Barcelona till the end, and they finished third. And they made it to this Champions League for the first time in their history after coming from the second division just a couple of years ago. It is extraordinary, I think, in footballing terms, to achieve what they have achieved given what I've just described in La Liga with Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and the other big clubs in Spain having the 16th highest wage bill, so 15 teams ahead of them. And then to get to the Champions League qualification is incredible. In Girona, you've seen it to perfection with Michel as the coach, Kike as the football director, great, a management team there, great board, and then the players. Really, everybody there outperformed every single person in that group. You don't get to that result without outperforming as a group. And it's something I think that is remarkable for Girona, the city, the people of Girona, and the fan base of that club.
If we can just go to New York, you've got a stadium being built there. Obviously, we're
finally.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot over the years. When's it coming? Well, it's here now. How is it progressing? How exciting is that for New York? How exciting is it for the United States soccer?
Listen, I've always been very, very committed to U.S. football, U.S. soccer. I think we've always been very committed to MLS. Building New York City football team to what it is today, I think is a testament to that commitment. But we continue to be very committed to that. We've had a great partnership with the New York Yankees as our partners in New York City. It's a big investment, and it's an investment that's well justified for the fans. And playing in Yankee Stadium and Citi Field, while great for the last couple of years, is not a sustainable solution. The solution was always going to be a purpose-built football club for the team. New York is going to have its football stadium, and it's going to be fantastic.
And I want to talk to you about multi-club ownership just a little bit later. But first of all, can we just look at some of the other achievements? Melbourne women won a third title. The men made the playoffs. Mumbai won the Indian Super League playoffs for the second time in 3 years. I mean, there's so many of them, I had to write them all down. Montevideo made the Uruguayan Cup final. Yokohama made the Asian Champions League final. And Shenzhen lifted the China League One. I mean, that's quite a list of success, isn't it?
The model works. We have a great system. We have a great management team. We have great clubs as part of the group. And I think from our perspective, City Football Group is no longer a test of viability. It's now a fully functional, operating sports and entertainment machine that continues to grow from strength to strength and is sought after to be partnered from everywhere, east, west, north, south. I mean, this is where we are today. We are a premier. We are pioneers in what we've achieved, and I'm delighted for the group and our shareholders.
Not all plain sailing, though. I mean, Lommel and Palermo didn't win promotion, and Troyes in France, so you had to deal with some backlash from the fans.
Yes, of course. I mean, listen, when you have a big group like ours, to be able to be successful in every single one of the teams every season is virtually impossible. You're going to have challenges here and there every year, and it's not about the challenge. It's about how you respond to the challenge. Of course, we will look back at Troyes and there's many lessons learned in this. We have a lot to think about today, but what we do know is we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. We know how to fix it. We know how to put the right resources behind it. Troyes will come back, and I have no doubt about that. Lamel the same, and Palermo both, ended the seasons close to being promoted, but weren't able to cross that line. Disappointed for sure for the clubs and their fans, but we know what to do. I think what I say is to those fans is we know what to do. You've seen us do it all over the world. We will figure it out. We will focus because we don't like to lose and we don't like to fail.
Just move on finally to business. Since we last chatted, there's been a bumper financial period for City. Reported record revenues, I think, and I've written it down again, 712 million, 80 million pounds in profit, double the previous year. How pleased are you with that, and how sustainable is that growth?
I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with the results. These results are very sustainable because we have now a very clear foundation that's been built over many years. We have a financial and economic machine. As long as we keep managing well and being prudent, that growth in terms of revenue, in terms of profitability, I think we're on a trajectory that's been there for years now and continues to go from strength to strength.
Those revenues and profits are not taken away anywhere. They're being ploughed back and more into the business, into infrastructure, into facilities, into players. How do you see that progressing? Is that?
Since day one, Sheikh Mansour, as the largest shareholder of the group, has been very focused on growth and value appreciation. And in doing so, every pound of profit has stayed within the group to support growth and development. The result of it is we always are investing. We're always investing. We're investing in infrastructure. We're investing in the development of these clubs. We're buying new teams. We continue to grow and grow.
And in Manchester in particular, CFG are a significant shareholder in Co-op Live. What was the thinking behind getting involved in that part of business?
It's part of that strategy of investing in Manchester. From continuing to invest in that entire ecosystem around the Etihad, from the CFA to obviously Man Life, Manchester Life, to now the Co-op, the expansion of the Etihad Stadium, that entire entertainment district that we're developing. We continue to reinvest. And what that does, we're creating value for the group. We're creating jobs for the community. We're creating profit because these are all very successful initiatives and investments. The Co-op is, I think, a superb opportunity in which we saw a very clear demand for live entertainment in Manchester and in England. We found a great partner. We invested in building, arguably, but in my opinion, the best arena in all of Europe. State-of-the-art infrastructure. It's going to transform, there's no doubt in my mind, life in Manchester by providing an arena with constant entertainment at the highest quality of excellence in terms of delivery for our customers, our clients, our visitors to the arena. It is undoubtedly, whoever's not been there, I can tell you, you go there, it's an absolute game changer in terms of the technology used, in terms of the sound systems that are there, in terms of the entertainment, the facilities within the arena. An absolute game changer for Manchester and for the entire region, and frankly for England and Europe.
Of course, whilst you continue to invest for the fans, the cost of attending games for fans continues to rise. Is this something under discussion at the highest level at City?
I'm glad you asked that, Chris, because this is a very delicate issue for sure. I appreciate the feelings of our fans when it comes to a very important aspect, which is the price of a ticket. And this is, I want to try to explain this, a very difficult balance that we have to, there's always that tension between investing and growing and meeting more demand and being sustainable and financially viable, and at the same time taking care of our core fan base and making sure they have affordable tickets and they'll continue to enjoy their football in the way they've always had. And we need to find ways to generate capital and revenue. And by the way, every pound coming out from that revenue has been reinvested in the team and continues to reinvest in the team. So we have to, again, carefully tread, we're talking very closely, obviously, to our fan base to make sure that we're able to strike that balance in an appropriate way. So it's a balance, and I recognize some of our fans obviously are not satisfied on the pricing side of it. We have to find solutions for them. That is our job. We have to work this out, but we also have to grow, and we have to find the right commercial avenues for the club to continue to grow and to generate revenue, which inevitably then comes back to support the team and support the success that you've seen and that you will continue to see.
You've had a lot of high-profile departures from behind the scenes in the past 12 months. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Frankly?
Yeah.
Proud. It tells you we are very good at what we do at every level. When you see, and I use the word graduates, be it players at the academy level, be it players at the first team level, leave and go and have successful careers, to coaching staff, medical staff, physios, to senior executives that are being sought after from the best teams in the world. I think, if anything, that's a testament that we're on the right track. It confirms, A, that we're doing it right, B, the people see that we have a system, that we have great leadership, that we have great management, and a system that continues to produce talent at every level, in every aspect of the business of football, from coaching to playing to managing. You know, when you look at people, I mean, they get an offer for a great job at another club. I think, of course, you understand it's natural. People will take other challenges. But I think one thing that I will hopefully always feel is that when they leave with appreciation to the time they spent at the club. They leave with respect for how this club has helped them in their careers, and they'll always have, I think, a positive memory of the time we spent. We stay friends. I think that's important. So, I understand it. Of course, we're going to defend, and the people that we want to keep, we will do everything we can to keep. And sometimes we can't win them all, but it's the natural evolution.
I mean, we started this chat on a high note, a happy note, winning 4 in a row. I think we got to end it on a sad note, but happy in a certain sense. And there's this little statue there. I've been looking at it throughout this interview. We lost Francis Lee during the year, and we unveiled a statue to City's Holy Trinity, as it were, Bellamy and Somerby. How pleased have you been with the reception, or how warmed have you been by the reception to the statue, and how important is that connection with the past?
It's so important. I mean, this is the history of this club. It's a rich history. It's these 3, incredible players, but not just players, incredible people, and their contributions to this club and the history of that. So important to never forget that. And I think having this project come from concept idea to actually now being built, and then seeing how the people, the fans, have responded to this has been wonderful. Sheikh Mansour wanted to make sure that he supports the history of the club, and that it's a gift to the people of Manchester, to the fans of Manchester City, to the families of these 3 special individuals, and a constant reminder that this is a club with a rich history, and that we are custodians of this history, and that what we do in every aspect of our running of this club is in the best interest of everyone involved in this club in the city of Manchester. Francis, I've had the pleasure of meeting him many times and seeing him over the years. I think his loss is tremendous, but hopefully this is a way for us all to remember Francis Lee and his greatness.